Hello Labradoodle lovers. This is a week 3 video update for these mini Australian Labradoodle puppies from the Onyx shadow litter. In today's video, we are going to talk about the fact that these puppies can see, they can hear, they can walk, and they can talk. We're also going to be telling you about the news that's coming up for these puppies later today and in the upcoming weeks. And we're going to talk about what successful socialization is. And of course, we're going to give you an update on Mama Misha and on each of these gorgeous Australian Labradoodle puppies. Hi, I'm Claire from Van Isle Doodles, and these puppies are 3 weeks old. And what a huge change from just 3 weeks ago in episode 1 in our birth announcement. It always amazes me how puppies go from being these very tiny, fit in my hand, completely helpless creatures to almost like dogs. So these puppies all opened their ears this week. Last week when we did our video, nobody was really wanting to share their open eyes. And a couple of puppies hadn't opened their eyes yet. But the next day, everyone had their eyes open. And then the ears opened really quickly after that. Everyone could hear by 3 days ago. And Pink Collar Girl was the first to open her ears. She actually opened her ears on day 16. So she was a little bit ahead of everybody else. So the puppies, as you can see, are all thriving. I mean, look at these wide loads. Everybody here has a really nice, big, full tummy from the smallest to the biggest. Black Collar Boy is the smallest puppy still, but even he has this big belly, up to Blue Collar Boy, who has remained our biggest puppy throughout the entire 3 weeks these puppies have been with us. Now, a Blue Collar Boy doesn't look quite as big as Purple Collar Boy or Pink Collar Girl even, and that's just because they have so much more white on them. So you know when they say wear black to be slimming, you can see that that really holds true even when you don't get to wear it, but that's just your natural coat color. So now these puppies are really mobile. They're walking all over here. They're starting to interact and play with each other. They also play with Mama Misha. And so it's time for them to move. So today we are, after this video, going to move them into the doodle den. We had our fingers crossed and we were hopeful that we could maybe keep them here until Saturday. That reason for that is because our other mini Labradoodle puppies from our triple play litter are going home on Saturday, and that way we would have only had to move them once. As it is, we'll move them, they'll stay until Sunday, then we'll move them into a different spot. Now, is that a big deal or a problem? No, not really. It's a big change to go from this very sheltered environment into the first steps into the big world. And so I prefer if we don't also introduce another move in there. But what's the benefit? More resilient pups. We will end up with puppies who are much better able to accept and deal with multiple changes. So it's all good, it's all positive. And one of the reasons why it's not a good idea to leave them in this small environment is they can't move around enough to begin to develop that muscle coordination, tone, and strength that they need to be doing right now. And also, they pee and poo a whole heck of a lot, way more than Mama Misha can keep up with. And so it means I think our laundry department might be going to go on strike. It's a matter of taking their pee pads out virtually every half hour to change them because they do pee a lot now. So we want them to have a nice, cleaner, drier environment, and we find that with a bigger space. Because what are we going to do? We're going to work with their natural instincts where they don't pee where they're sleeping and eating. Right now, they can't get away enough in order to do that, and that's not a habit that we want them to get into. It's also not nice for them, and it's not natural for a dog to do that. They are looking to move themselves away to go to the bathroom all the time. But when you're in such a small little vicinity, you need to give them some more options for that. So we'll move them this afternoon. We'll give them a nice spot in the doodle den. We've already started to acclimate them to that in the last couple of days by leaving the doors open. Misha's great. This is her third litter, so she's not so protective of her puppies that she loses her mind if the other dogs come in and see what's going on. Puppy, or mama dogs rather, when they're having their first litter of puppies, generally will not let anybody near them. Whereas Misha's like, oh yeah, sure, you can come look at them. Indeed, why don't you come and look after them? That'd be fine with me. She's very relaxed about it and quite cavalier in her attitude to who gets to come and hang out with her babies. She's confident that they're safe. Now, at the same time, she's still a very devoted mom. She never is far away, and she does keep an eagle eye on things to make sure nobody's getting into any funny business. She would not, for instance, allow another dog to step into the box. They can come up and they can sniff, but that's as far as it goes. And when they do that, Misha comes, puts herself in the box, and she's right there to remind the other dogs, I'm here, so watch your step. So it's a very interesting thing to watch how the girls learn different things as they are a mom for us. Rain is also here with her puppies, and this is her first litter. So Rain's puppies are older. They are 5 weeks old, and whenever anyone gets near where her puppies are, Rain is instantly there and she growls at anyone. She doesn't let anybody within about 2 feet of her puppies. She doesn't have as strong a maternal instinct as Misha does, but she is much more protective. And that's just by virtue of the fact that this is her first litter and she hasn't learned all the ins and outs of it. The other dogs who are here are Rain, who is a mom, and also our own dogs. So Rain is the only one that we would have any worries about in terms of whether she might feel that these puppies here of Misha's were impinging on any of the well-being of her own puppies. But we've noticed that that doesn't seem to be much of a concern with her. However, we still make sure that Rain and Misha do not have access to one another's puppies unless we are right there, right here. I mean, right next to the puppies, because things can happen in an instant. Whereas with our own dogs, they are anti-dogs. Spirit has absolutely zero interest in the puppies. She doesn't want to be near them. She's not a fan of puppies. She is our instructor for how puppies will learn to deal with adults who don't like them. Ripple's incredibly curious. She loves to be an auntie. She'll be in here licking them and kissing them. She'll actually help Misha look after them and bring them up after Misha's gone home. And then Peanut, well, she just comes in to see if there's any spare food lying around. That's her big interest. She's very tolerant of the puppies, but if they try to nurse, she will give them a little growl and tell them, yeah, no, that's not appropriate. So there's an example of how much pee we've got going on. I'll just get Reynolds to hand me some paper towel so I can mop that up. But you can imagine with this 6 times over with all these puppies very regularly happening, it's not the type of environment that we want to keep them in for very long. These pads are great. They absorb. And they are sort of like a kid's diaper in that it goes dry. They absorb right through, and then they have a backing on them that doesn't allow it to go through to the underneath carpet there. So it does do a pretty good job, but there is a limit as to how much of it can absorb. And some of them have really big pees. So that's the big news for the puppies. They are really just doing great. And while Black Collar Boy is lying down here, I want to show you how you can see his phantom markings starting to come through now. So when he was first born, we thought he was just black. But now you can see the phantom marks, he says get away, on the side of his face, inside his ear, and then showing up on his legs too. Even on his back legs now, they're starting to show up. Whereas when he was first born, we couldn't see them. So we just call that a weak phantom. That just means that the gene for them, it's probably not fully all the ways through. Can you hear that? That's what I'm talking about when I say they can talk. That's Blue Collar Boy. He's having a conversation with the pig rail over there. So now that's the other thing we're going to start to lead into here on socialization. So the puppies need toys now. They'll play with each other, but you can see Blue Collar Boy is up and at 'em. He wants somebody to come and hang out and do something with him. And his brothers and sisters are all snoozing away. He didn't get the memo that it's nap time. So it's time to start introducing toys. Toys are a critical part of any puppy's development, and it's very important to have the right toy at the right time, because if you have something that's too far ahead of the game for the puppy, it just leads them to become frustrated and annoying, and we don't want that vibe going on with our puppies. If you have something that's too juvenile for an older puppy, they're not even going to be interested. So there is no enrichment possibility going on. So when we talk about desensitization, toys, enrichment, and socialization, it's all part of the big picture, which is fulfilling the intellectual requirements for your puppy. Now, up until a few years ago, we really didn't give much thought at all to whether puppies needed to have any intellectual stimulation, their minds exercised. We really didn't think about that at all. We thought, oh, that's a nice puppy, it's cute, this one is a sweet puppy, this one is a little bit more quiet, and that's about as far as we went. We didn't really take the time to sit down and consider, well, these are living creatures with an intellect that matches about a 3-year-old. So we need to understand their minds, because once we understand that, well, now we have a dog that we can figure out how to relate to better and have them fit into our lives more successfully. You'll find that anyone who you meet and you go, wow, is their dog ever well behaved, well trained, a great dog, whatever you hear people saying about them, 9 times out of 10, that's because that dog is understood by their parent. The people that they live with get how to communicate with them. They've taken the time to understand their dog's personality, how to work with it, and how to deal with their actual minds. And of course, each one of these puppies is different. Each one of them has a different temperament. And that's why we do our puppy matching, to be sure that you get the puppy who fits you and your lifestyle the best. So for instance, if you were retired and a quiet couple and you wanted a dog that was cuddly and enjoyed short walks, then we would not pick a dog who was more active, outgoing, and vocal like Blue Collar showing you right now. Now that doesn't mean that's what Blue Collar is all about. That's just how he happens to be at the moment. We aren't going to see their true selves for another few weeks yet. We're just starting to get to know them. So the first thing we do in terms of desensitization for these puppies is we very slowly, gradually, and positively introduce them to new things. So this morning, as an example, when I was in with the puppies, waking them up, changing their pee pads out, I talk to them like I always do. I come in and tell them I'm here, get them prepared, because they were all sound asleep like this. I want them to know that I'm here and not be startled by what's going on. And then this morning I played some music on my phone. Well, that got everybody up right away, and all of them were just a little bit, uh-oh, what's that? That's something new. So I turned the volume down so that you could barely hear it and talked at the same time as the music was playing. That gave them the confidence to feel like, okay, it's safe because I can hear Mama Claire's voice and we know her. And then I just gradually increased the volume of the music as they showed me that they were comfortable. I didn't put it on full volume. They're not ready for that. But what I wanted was to see their response. What I wanted was for them to come toward the phone and look at it curiously and be interested. If they were backing away from the phone, then that was like, nope, they're not comfortable. So when you're socializing your puppy, lots of people think that just means, oh, we'll go hang out with the neighbor's dog, or we'll go over here to the dog park. That's not how you socialize a puppy. What you do is introduce them to all sorts of new things. but only positive things. There's an old saying, and you'll have heard me say it if you've watched our videos for a long time, that you want your puppy to have 100 new experiences in the first 100 days. That's what we used to think was the way to get our puppies to feel comfortable, was we would just keep exposing them to new things all the time. Well, then after time, and with more interest and research into puppies and how they develop and their emotional state, we learned that no, that was a silly idea. That the thing we wanted to do was maybe they were only going to have 5 experiences in the first 100 days, but as long as those were positive, we're way more ahead of the game than if we'd forced them into situations where they weren't comfortable. Same as you can see right now, Blue's telling me, I don't want to be held. If I just keep holding on to him and saying, no, I want to hold you, that's what we're going to do. We're going to end up with a puppy who hates being picked up and hates being held. See how he's got his head turned away from me? He has no interest in interacting with me right now. He says, put me down. So you want to. You want to listen to what they're saying, and you want to go ahead and honor what they're saying. You want them to have some choices in their lives. You don't want to be dictating to them all the time, or you'll end up with a puppy who's highly stressed, anxious, and that's what can lead to a reactive type of dog. Same thing is you don't want to introduce them to a whole bunch of new experiences, because that too can lead to a dog who's reactive. It makes them lose their confidence rather than develop their confidence. And see how green collar is right now upside down here. This is what I want to see. He's letting me touch his tummy. He's letting me touch his feet. He's used to me doing this. He's happy for me to rub under his chin. And that's exactly the response I want, where he's not at all concerned about what I'm doing because he's learned to be used to me doing that. Now he's asking me for more, and that it's something that's pleasurable for him. So that's what we want to do. We want to associate new experiences with something pleasurable. And right now Blue Collar is trying to problem solve and figure out how to get over there. And so the barrier was a little high given how little and uncoordinated he is. So I'll just give him my one leg and see if he can get over there. This is part of what I'm talking about when I'm saying I want them to develop their motor skills. And you see how he's kind of tottery there? It's a little bit tricky for him to negotiate doing corners, and he still falls over and bangs into things from time to time. So that's why we need to give them a bit more room to start getting that coordination going. And of course, what is he going to choose to chew on? My phone. Because I can tell you, whatever's the most expensive thing in their vicinity, that's what they're going to choose to chew on. That's why you always want to have something that's appropriate for them to chew on. He is starting to teeth, and you can tell that because he's opening his mouth. He's looking for things to put into his mouth to start to get those teeth through. Now, you're probably wondering, why is she putting her finger in there? You don't want to teach him to chew on your finger. Isn't that backwards? The first thing you have to do is teach them what your skin tastes like, smells like, and feels like. Because they first of all have to recognize that. And then later on when they're older, and you can start to teach them no, because we teach them yes before no, they'll be familiar with what my skin is like, and they'll be able to learn that that's a no, that isn't what you bite. My skin, my pants, whatever it is that we want them to learn is not appropriate. But basically what your job will be once you get your puppy home is to keep exposing them to new things in gradual, safe ways with a positive response. And to learn what your puppy's saying to you. Watch what they're telling you. Listen to what their body language is saying. And don't make them uncomfortable. So if you do something unexpected, we'll do a great big clap. And we'll see if anybody has a bad response to it. Nope. Everybody's fine with that. So I'm not going to worry about that. Clapping is a good thing. Yay! There we go. And see, Mr. Green Collar's got his head up. He's interested, and now he's run away and he's hit his head. Now he's back up. Hi. Hi, baby. Good boy. There we go. Hi. Hi. That's how we do something nice, gradual, and then we give them a little bit of a pet afterwards, so they realize that, oh, that was a big strange sound. Haven't heard mommy do that before, but that's okay. Seemed to end up okay. The other ones didn't even bother waking up. It wasn't interesting enough for them to pay much attention to. And that's just a small example of how you do introduce your puppy to new things in a nice way. And see, Misha came over right away. Misha, why don't you come over this way? Come over this way, huh? Because it's too hard to step there. Good girl. And Misha came over right away because this is what we get with Mama Misha, where she's very attentive and caring for her puppies. She heard that sound. It was like, that's not normal. What's Mama Claire doing? I better go and check on my babies. Now you'll see they're all going to make a big beeline for Misha's milk bar, even though they have had their fill. These guys have no shortage of appetite. Misha will leave now. Now for Misha, how's she doing? Great. She's eating really well. She no longer eats in here with her puppies. She goes out to the doodle den with the other dogs to eat. She enjoys her time away from the puppies, but as I said, is very attentive. She's spending a lot of time in the evenings with us. She likes to come and watch TV. We're very close. She can be right there with us, but still hear everything that's going on in here and keep an eye on the puppies to know they're safe. And then once they move over into the doodle den, then we will leave the door open for her to decide whether she wishes to be right near them or come and spend more time with us. But she's doing really great in terms of her weight, and of course, as you can see, the milk bar is really plentiful. So now let's go through each of the puppies, and we'll do a little bit of an update on them and give you their weights. And before we do that, I'd really appreciate if you have enjoyed this video and the content in it, if you could take a moment and post a comment here on YouTube. We would really appreciate that. It helps us out with the algorithm and really means a lot to us. Plus, I'd love to answer your comments and have conversations with you. And please feel free to ask any questions you may have. And if you don't have time for a comment, even just a thumbs up is great. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done so. And hit that bell icon so you get notified whenever we have a new video out. And we really hope you're enjoying our shorts too. We've just started posting our shorts, so you can find those if you go to our channel and then just click on shorts, and you'll get all sorts of 30 seconds or less little tidbits of what we hope is valuable nuggets of information for you. Hello, Mr. Blue. Well, you're first, and you're being very forward today. So let's start off with you. Mr. Blue, as I mentioned, is the largest puppy in the litter, and he is doing very well. He has a nice, strong, confident temperament. He's busy at the moment. You can see he's active. He has no desire to be held today. Normally, he's quite a cuddly guy, but at the moment he says, no, thank you. I'm not interested in you holding me. And Mr. Blue is 1.628 kilograms. So all of that stomach weight you can see there in his weight. Now, don't be worried about what the puppy's weights are and thinking, gosh, I thought these were minis. They seem to be growing a lot. They are. They're fat puppies right now. They will slim down. They will not stay this fat. They will slim down. Once they get weaned, they will go down to a more appropriate weight, and you'll see that their gains are going to start to not be as dramatic as they have been. Next, we have another puddle here for me to clean up. Just hang on for 1 minute here. I don't want them to be sitting in it while it's not getting absorbed, so I just clean that up. Because puppies, when they're this little, they have no idea that they shouldn't lie and pee or anything. They think that's all totally fine. There we go. We'll just get that right off of there. Yeah, we don't want you guys to be sitting in yuck. No, thank you. No, thank you. There we go. Next we have Mr. Green Collar. Mr. Green calling Mr. Green. I think it was Mr. Green who just had the giant pee. And hopefully that means he won't pee on me, because that does happen. Mr. Green is our real cool two-tone little puppy guy. Sweet, gentle, and very good at the eye contact, as you can see. He is a very attentive puppy. He is very tuned into people and everything. Whenever someone speaks or whenever there's any sort of movement, he's right there. And he's always giving me those big, beautiful eyes to look at and say, "What you doing, lady? What's happening?" Mr. Handsome is 1.375 kilograms. He's the second smallest in the litter. Let's put you down here where it's a little bit drier. That's my boy. Next we have Red Collar Girl. Red Collar Girl was the last one to open up her ears in the litter. Miss Red is a quiet, calm, very relaxed puppy. She has excellent eye contact as well. It's a very pretty red and white girl. And she is very tired right now. She's just going to rest her head. Easygoing, nothing bothers her, very much in the middle of the pack, not too forward at all, but very gentle. And Miss Red is 1.426 kilograms. That's a very nice weight. Oh, now you see that scared her. When I put my nose on her nose, so I don't want to go away with her having a scary experience. I want to go back. And I just want to wait a minute, if you just don't mind, while I spend a little second longer with her, so that we just get a little snuggle there. Yeah, oh, still a little bit worried. And see how she's yawning? She's not yawning because she just woke up. She's yawning there because I've stressed her. So I just want to give her a minute, just get my face up there with her. Make sure that we end this on a very positive note. Yeah, oh yeah. And that's as far as I'll go. Just a little kiss on the side, without her turning her head away. That's all I want from her. Then later on this afternoon, I'll come back and I'll do more of the kiss right on the nose. It's okay if Mom kisses her on the nose, though. Maybe I should have used my tongue. Next, we've got our incredibly gorgeous Ebony Phantom, Mr. Black Collar, who is our smallest puppy in the litter. There is nothing better and more adorable than a gleaming ebony puppy. They are like mirrors, and this guy has the most adorable personality. He's calling for Misha right now because she's standing there staring at him. You're getting him all stressed out, Misha. He's not stressed at anything, just he thinks he's missing out at the milk bar. And he's 1.320 kilograms. You can see him there just dying to get to Misha. And she's just like, "Nope, I'm going to be over here because I know you can't climb over this yet." Oh, you're teasing them, Misha. It's a big meanie. Then we have Mr. Purple Collar here, this gorgeous chocolate party boy who's really just got the broadest body. Typical Misha puppy where they're very wide when they're little. He is one solid puppy. Beautiful symmetrical markings. This guy's the quiet guy in the litter. He hasn't had anything to say yet. He's still pretty docile. A little bit more of a younger type of puppy still. And very tired at the moment. Apparently can't hold his head up. And Mr. Purple is 1.556 kilograms. I would have thought he was practically 3. He's so heavy. He's one solid puppy. And Mr. Black is all upset now. He's wondering if maybe there might be a milk bar over here. Yeah, come sit on my lap. That'll help you feel better. And last but not least is Pink Collar Girl. Pink Collar Girl is our pretty little apricot party girl. Hi, baby. Come here, sweetheart. She's sound asleep. There we go. Hey, you want to say hi to everybody? This little beauty queen is a real sweetheart. Now, this is the quirky girl in the litter, and it's really fun because we have another apricot party in another litter, and she's also the quirky girl. Her name is Daisy. She's from JoJo's litter. They look very, very similar. But Miss Pink, oh my goodness, she has personality to spare. She is always doing something fun and catches your attention. Very, very social, very, very much in love with people. And Miss Pink weighs 1.554 kilograms. So that is the puppies. That's our update for today. I hope you enjoyed it. The next time you see a litter update for these guys from the Onyx Shadow litter, they will be in their new house in the Doodle Den. I'm just trying to make some room for Misha here. And we will have in our next week's update, we'll give you all the information about the move, how they're doing with toys, how they're doing being integrated into their new world, which is going to be full of a lot more sights and sounds and activity. So we hope you'll join us then, and thank you so much for watching.